Mature content warning. This computer software contains content that may be unsuitable for some players, including depictions of violence, sexual conduct, abuse, rape, mental illness, murder, discriminatory language, and suicide. This work does not in any way endorse or affirm criminal acts or violations of human rights. By continuing beyond this point, the user agrees he or she acknowledges the above, does not find such content described above offensive nor obscene, and is requesting this content as in good mental health.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Koravan. If you're new here, I'm a streamer on Twitch. But today we are on a recording video because we're playing Hashihime of the Old Book Town. Very excited, very excited. So, before we begin, I would just like to say I may sound a little bit down, or this video may not be as long because I am feeling a bit down because I just got my 4th vaccination. So yeah, my arm is sore and not feeling that well. So yeah, let's just get into the game now.
嵐が去った朝、水門に死体が引っかかってた。
Right. Oh, why do we start off on a freaking dreadful note? It's okay.
膨れ上がった死体を私はカエルみたいだと思った。
だから何？この物語はカエルの化け物が自分を殺した男に復讐する話だ。俺を脅してるつもり？
そんなんじゃない。ただ罪は繰り返して罰として自分に返ってくるのだと思っただけだ。私はあの日のことをどこかで後悔していたのかもしれない。
ああ、これ君の仕業だったんだ。
The news? Oh god. Tama. You're so dead, Tama. Kawasa said as he pulled out a small envelope.
朝っぱらからうさんくさい記者が来てね。池田さん殺しの件ですが。だってさ。
池田さんを殺したのもお前だ。
Kawasa turned away from me. He closed the doors to Umebachito and flashed a smile no one else could see.
だからどうしたの？
So he did! Told you guys. Serial killer.
学会を離れて誰からも構われなくなったジジイが死んで誰が困るの？
川瀬、なんで？
Well, there is a kid.
なんでって理由なんて聞いてどうするのさ。俺は探偵小説が大嫌いだ。
That was when his smile from earlier faded.
探偵は犯人を明かしてなんでどうしてと問い詰める。理解しようなんてこれっぽっちも思ってないくせに好奇心だけは旺盛だ。
Okay, abusive father, I get if you killed the abusive father, but like, why Ikeda? Ikeda-san was being nice to you. Then again, he could be sus. I mean, Kawase is pretty. Oh god, I don't like it. I don't like this.
それを読むやつも書くやつもイカれてるとしか思えないよ。
川瀬。
だから俺は君に理由なんて話さない。
いい、やっぱり知りたくないから。私が言いたいことはお前に自首してほしいってことだけだ。
自首？
あの夜のことも池田さん殺しのことも全部自首してほしいんだ。
This was me betraying the Irregulars Regiment.
お前の過去を暴いて新聞社に持って行ったやつがいる。記者が本格的にお前を暴く前に。
Why? I mean, I guess we feel bad for Kawase. We've known him longer, I guess, but Tamamori, you couldn't have friends if you keep betraying one another. You know, you're betraying Kawase, and now you're betraying the Irregular Regiment. Like, I don't know.
それって君でしょ。俺を新聞社に売ったのは。楽しかった？
楽しかった。Kawase said, throwing the letter. I crawled after it and read it. Written inside was a list of both true and untrue things about Kawase. How cruel. Naoshi-kun. He said he was going to make stuff about Kawase's past, but I hadn't thought he would exaggerate the story this much to lure in the newspapers. I grasped the letter, shaking my head in front of Kawase.
違う、川瀬。私はこんなことを。
だから楽しかった。腹の底でずっと俺のこと嘲笑って。
違う。
It was strange. I was in the same situation as Minakami that time you were harassing him.
すまん。
Of course. No matter how much I thought about it, no matter how much I struggled, it was my fault things turned out this way.
でも川瀬。私は何もお前。
卑怯なやつ。
Sorry. With his curt words, he kicked me down. An intense pain worse than being torn apart bore into my head. Coward, huh? Kawase opened the door and left. I didn't even have the right to watch him leave. I wasn't going to tell him to repent. I wasn't going to tell him to atone for his sins. But if Kawase were to be judged, I want to be judged with him. Before any more truths and myths start to circulate and Kawase's pride was wounded. I want to turn myself in. I want to keep it a secret. I want to live a quiet life. And then for us, think of the other as a friend. I had finally realized that. But I didn't get through to him. That was also what tore me apart. I gathered up the scattered manuscript and covered my head. My tears flowed freely once again.
Tamamori-san, 僕は川瀬さんのお父さんだったんですか？なんで僕は川瀬さんに殺されちゃったんですか？ねえ、
うるさい。
ごめんなさい。寂しいけど僕も消えます。また会う日まで。
True silence fell. I picked up the manuscript, sat up at the register, and tried to open the ink bottle. With no strength, I ended up dropping it on the floor. A deep black hole began to spread. Tears welled up again. Once I got upstairs, I wrapped myself up in my futon and kept away from the cold. Sleep. I'll abandon my body to the flow of time. I wanted the skies to clear up. I wanted to escape from this repetitive world as soon as possible. Minagami, become a Teruterubozu. Hurry up and make this world sunny again. The next time I opened my eyelids, it was dark outside the window. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde would be starting soon. I could see the two seats right in the middle of Toyo Cinema, completely empty. Minakami wouldn't be there. Neither would I. I wasn't sure if it was good luck or bad luck for such great seats to go to waste. The next time I opened my eyelids, it was completely gray outside the window. No different from yesterday, the rain from... Oh my god, my voice is going away, sorry. No different from yesterday, the rain of rainy season was falling. I could see just a bit of the sun coming through, but it was immediately covered by gray rain clouds. I wasn't sleepy at all, but all I did was sleep. Overcoming my own laziness wasn't easy. Suddenly, something sharp hit the window, almost indistinguishable from the rain. It was a pebble. After I strained my ears as much as I could, I heard someone yelling.
Tama-san! Oi!
Actually, I heard it from the start. I thought I'd ignore it, but I stood by the window with a face that looked like I had just woken up. Now she looked up at me, out of breath.
どうした？
皆さんが
ああ、
皆さんが自殺した。
そうか。
ちょっと待ってよ。僕の話を聞いて。
Yeah, we knew. I guess Sen Kawase didn't ask me to go with him, which was not surprising after what we did. I went down to the first floor and greeted
そ
Naoshi-kun.
れで柳橋の下に引っかかってたんだって。警察は皆さんを引き上げて手帳の名前から川瀬さんを探してるけど、川瀬さんは僕たちが煽ったからそれどころじゃなくて。
So that's why.
川瀬のやつ、今はどうなってるんだ？
それが予想以上に新聞社が食いついてくれてさ、池田邸に殺到してるよ。工藤たちも大手柄だって取材を受けてる。
Poor Kawase. Right at that moment, I could see Kudokun's face as he stuck out his chest with pride. Kawase, on the other hand, was probably looking down from his room on the second floor, letting out a sigh of cigarette smoke. Good job, irregular regiment. You made it to the top by sacrificing Kawase.
うちに警察から電話がかかってきたんだ。川瀬さんの他に皆さんが本人かどうか確かめてくれる友人はいないかって。
奥さんと君が行けばよかろ
そう言ったんだけど、ご婦人方はダメだって。
じゃあ、私が水上の後始末をするか。
Yeah, Inakami. This is how things end up. I follow Najikun, heading to the Oizumi residence first. With a grey face, Madame silently lowered her head towards me. Death wasn't really that sad. I think I called it when he ran from the giant, that the giant is Tamamori-kun going crazy because he have been pointed back so long. And this sentence, I stand my point. There was a part of me that finally remembered how natural that was.
電話借ります。
どうぞ。
Doza. I love the Madam's voice actor. I took the phone from Madam and was connected to the Asakusa police station.
こちら浅草警察署です。
Ooh.
柳橋で上がった身元不明人に心当たりがあるものです。
はい。ではお心当たりの方の特徴を言ってもらえますか。
おかっぱ頭に切れ長の目、カバンの中には外国語の参考書。
一致しています。
在籍校は帝大です。
The
police officer stopped himself.
それがですね、帝大の制服を着ているので連絡してみたのですが、該当する生徒はいないと。
What? What? Oh my god, everything that we knew is a lie. Every time we go into another jump, everything we knew is a lie. Like, oh god, I can't even.
え？
ですから該当する生徒はいないと。
But didn't Kawase meet Minakami a few times? I don't know. I genuinely have no idea.
文学部国文学科につないで確かめてください。
そのご友人のお名前は？
いえ、水前寺湊です。
No, he have a different name. Oh my god. Everything we knew is a lie. What? Minato Suisenji? That's a nice name. When did it become Minakami? I don't know. Minato Suisenji. It had been a while since I've spoken his real name.
もう一度伺ってみてください。水前寺湊です。
手帳にもそのように記載されていたので問い合わせましたが、水前寺さんという生徒はいないとの回答で。
Oh my god. What did this mean? He always went by Minakami, so maybe he really had mistaken for someone with that name. This time I was the one left speechless. Madam abruptly took the phone away from me.
水前寺君は私の家に下宿する浪人生で間違いありません。後のことはやはり私がお手続きします。それでは後ほど。
Ah! He's a running Sebinki. What? Oh my god. What the hell? What the actual hell? Everything that we knew is a lie. Is a lie. Why did even Minakami went here then? For the book? So he can read Dogra Magra by Kisako Yumeno? Like, what? I don't know. I am full of confusion. Like, what the actual... This is not a good day to start my day. Roninse? Was she mistaking him for somebody else? Madame hurriedly turned away, leaving me with my questions.
待ってください。みなかみが浪人生って。
タマさん、皆さんのお荷物まとめてくださる？あなたが池田さんの代わりに皆さんの遺体と荷物を田舎に連れて行くのよ。
奴が浪人生ってどういうことですか？まさかみんなしてふざけてるんですか？
いいえ。
いいえ。Oh god.
なんで私だけ追い出したんですか？
After Madam put out her overcoat, she turned around firmly, planting her feet.
あなたと私は縁もゆかりもございませんから。
She threw that straight in my face, then laughed. Oh. Right, Minakami, no the Oizumis, I guess? Naoshikun was the one who pulled me back before I could fall to my knees at that moment. He silently led me to Minakami's room. No longer able to stand, I collapsed on the spot. Do you know what a Roninse is? Someone who works hard and studies in order to get accepted by school. That's why, strictly speaking, I wasn't a Roninse. Someone like me who spent all his time on amusement, lived hand to mouth, and loved omelette rice couldn't be called a Roninse. It was the same for Minakami. He wore the Imperial University uniform. He was enrolled at the Imperial University. He hung out in the library. He read foreign books even though he was in Japanese literature department. A guy like that?
浪人生とは呼ばんだろう。は？嘘だろ。みなかみが浪人生？
嘘だろ。Indeed, I'm feeling the same thing, Tamamori. Like, what the hell?
知ってたか君？
君。
僕も今びっくりしてる。わかんない。でもひどいよね。意味わかんないけど騙してたってことじゃん。
Oh, sorry, but like, bro, as he was done, he tricked me. Minakami had tricked me. I had no way of confirming it. Minakami told about his classes, but I didn't know the name of his professors. I didn't know what classrooms, I didn't know his friends. Oh my god. Minakami, you've been living in a pile of lie. Everything you said is a lie. Like, what? In the end, I knew nothing about Minakami. But again, is it? Well, he did it. What? Okay. Put my hand on the bookshelf. This book, and even this book. I had seen Minakami reading them all. He would tell me there's going to be exam next time, so I have to read them carefully. He would tell me this time I'm writing an essay, a romantic irony. He loved modern literature to no end, though. Why had he lied to me? Suddenly come to my senses and searched the bookshelf.
Tama-san?
The bookshelf was double-rowed, so even the back was stuffed with books. In the back, one of the books was slanting unnaturally. It was clear something had been taken out. I remember what that was giving me, the strange feeling. It was the night Minakami didn't come to our meeting spot. I had waited for him in this room, but he didn't come. Adam had come into the room instead. What a fool. He muttered as he took something out and left. I needed to question her about it. What did she see? What did she steal? When I stood up and turned around, surprisingly, Madam herself was standing there.
奥さん、あなたはこの本棚から一体何を盗んだんですか？あなたがみなかみが死んだことを知ったのは今朝じゃない。昨夜にはあなたはみなかみの死を知ってこの部屋に来ているはずだ。何を盗んだのだ？
Madam faced my anger head on. That calm behavior made me even more furious. Right as I took a step forward to grab her, Madam reached her own chest. She pulled out a single book. It was Two Virgins in the Attic. So Minakami was just gay? So what? Like, why did you take the book? Or were you a lesbian? Like, you know what? Let's just let them explain.
吉谷信子。
黙っていようかと思ったわ。でも伝えた方が皆さんのためになると思いますから。
Madam lowered her gaze as she gracefully fell to her knees. I also sat on the floor, my legs restless, and faced her again. Feeling awkward, now she unconsciously retreated. He moved along the wall and placed himself in the corner of the room. No one could escape.
あなたは皆さんのことをどう思ってらした？ただの友達でしょ？
He liked me, didn't he? Then why?
でもね、皆さんは違ったの。
I know. He didn't care about me at all. She suddenly had me two virgins in the attic.
皆さんは帝大の受験に受からなかった。去年も、そして今年も、あなたと同じ浪人生なの。
嘘だ。
私も信じられなかった。ただ彼はその都度私に膝をついて、頭を下げて言うの。すみませんって。それっきり。彼が帝大の制服を着るようになったのはそれから。でも皆さんは何も言わなかったし、私も何も聞きませんでした。
どういうことですか？さっぱりわからん。
What was the point? What was the point of him lying to me? Madam fell silent.
伝えるって言ったのはあなたじゃないですか。
私も愛する人がいたの。
Madam suddenly stood up. She touched the back of her head with one hand and took down her hair in an instant. It was beautiful like silk and almost reached the floor. That must have been her real hair. She then pulled her hands on her kimono and remained speechless, unable to believe what I was seeing. Flat chest. Hell yeah! Called it! Madam! Flat chest, a perfectly tied futonshi. Madam, you're beautiful. Don't say anything about anything else. You're beautiful. She wasn't a madam, but a sir.
私は生まれながらに女として生きねばならなかった男。
Wait, then where did now she came from?
この姿は私が誰と結ばれることなく、この大泉家を途絶えさせるための手段なのです。
Now Shikun fell to his knees. He didn't seem to know his mother was his father either. So no, madam. Madam must have known we react like this. She smiled at us with an expression that seemed to be prepared for it.
けれど私は一人の人に恋をしました。私はその人と結ばれて、なおし、あなたを産んだの。
How? How? I'm so confused. I mean, we have the professor. I guess he could probably do it, but like,
女中に頼んで、あなたを産んでもらったのよ。
surrogate mother. Who's the daddy? Is the father the daddy or the madam the daddy? I don't know.
私の血は一滴もあなたに流れていない。なのになぜでしょうね。私とそっくりなほくろがある。嬉しかった。
Madam said as she stroked her unmarked stomach in silence. And he even have the same hobby. Bro. You guys just resemble a lot more, even if you're blood related. You know, it affects you. Who raised you affect you, so.
あなたを産んだのは間違いなくこの私だと世界中に行って回りたかった。
Go, madam, we stand her. Tears of joy welled up in the corners of her eyes.
でもあなたの父様はその女中と駆け落ちしてしまった。あな
That
たに父様がいないのは
that dick! Oh my god! How dare you? How dare you? I hated that. What the hell? You just dumped a kid and left? Sir. Also, I love that Tamamori just accepted that he's still calling her madam. So nice. I love this. Now she can hung his head, tears of emptiness falling from his wide eyes.
ここから先は私と直しのお話。タマさんにお話しすることは何もないわ。ただ、タマさんには知っておいてもらいたかったの。世の中にはこういう感情を持って、愛し合って、結ばれた人がいること。それだけをお伝えしたかったの。
So, Minakami?
皆さんの気持ち、無下にしないで。
Minasan did like us. But then, I mean, I get it. Because, like, there's so many signs that showed that he felt really hurt and then he wanted to kill himself. Like the day on Kawase's house where he killed himself because we basically blasted on Minakami. But, like, then why did he kill himself after reading Kisaku Yume-no? I don't get it.
気持ちって。
Then, oh no, I don't want to see this again.
だったら、なんで水上は私を置いて。
Suddenly, Madame took an envelope from her discarded kimono.
これは昨日の朝、ミナさんから渡されたお手紙。夜に読んでくれと頼まれて渡されたものよ。これは本来、あなたの手には渡らないはずのもの。お読み。
Sorry. Dear Akino Izumi-sama, thank you for taking care of me for the past 2 years. Thank you for your kindness, which dispelled the fears I held inside about coming to the capital. I've hung myself from Pseudo Bridge today. By the time you read this, I've probably already fallen to the shadows like a teruterubuzu. Also, thank you for letting me borrow 2 virgins in the attic. I was finally able to remember why I am the way I am. If hidden way in the back bookcase, I found it extremely relatable, and because of that I felt ashamed. I'm giving it back now. I'm very sorry I had to say my goodbyes through a letter. If possible, I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Tamamori about this. I kept this letter a secret from him as well. Sorry for being a burden to you even in my final moments. Sincerely, Minato Suisenji.
お貸しした屋根裏の二処女は同性愛者の少女のお話。私は皆さんにあなたへの気持ちに気がついてほしかった。だからこの本を貸したのです。だから皆さんを殺したのは私かもしれません。
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about this. Madame fell to her knees and shed tears.
私が彼に罪悪を覚えさせてしまったのかもしれません。
I mean, Kawase already knew.
ごめんなさい。黙っていようと思ったのは私の保身のためだったのかもしれません。ごめんなさい。
It's okay, madam. Her hair and her hand touched the floor. She cried as if she were begging me for her life. My voice wouldn't come out. I don't get the thoughts in my head to turn either. I made up my mind to open my mouth, but no sound louder than rain came out. All I could say was, Minakami wasn't the kind of man who would die for something like that. There had to be a reason. There was absolutely no way. The reason Minagami died was over a discrepancy between his gender and sexuality. Hashikun stood up at that moment.
気持ち悪い。
Excuse me. Oh god, oh god. That's lucky.
直し。
気持ち悪いよ。何それ。
You're also dressing up. How dare you?
何それ。あんた何なの。僕のこと騙してたの。
直し、聞いて。
あんたこの前僕をひっぱたいたよね。学校へ行きなさいとか言って常識を学べってさ。
直し。
常識外れてんのはあんたじゃん。この変態。
直しくんやめろ。
You go, Tamamori. Go!
だっておかしいじゃん。男が男を好きになるなんて。
Hashikun ran out. Madame lowered her lifted face once again, and she shed tears of a different hue.
直しくん待ってくれ。
ついてくんなよ。
直しくん。
Once I caught him in the garden, I forced him under my umbrella. As Hashikun eyes looked across the sky, he suddenly burst into laughter.
あの人おかしい。絶対おかしい。おかしい。
直しくん。
だからなのかな。あんな人と一緒にいるから。だから僕もおかしいのかな。
He couldn't accept it either.
直しくん。
He shook my arm off, but he froze in that spot. Tamamori is very accepting. I don't know. Like, he even thought about, like, transgender surgery for Naoshikun to Hakase. Which is like, okay, go king, but also, you know, he's still underage.
僕川瀬さんのこと本当に好きだったんだよ。2年前からずっとだよ。
Why? He's a dick! Oh god. I mean, he is handsome, but like, Naoshi, really? Naoshi, really? Huh? Pick better taste. Pick better man. Pick better man. He's a serial killer.
川瀬さんの真剣な顔好きだった。かっこよかった。トマさんなんかと
No
違
need,
ってね。
no need to like burn me.
なのに僕川瀬さんのことガブローシュになりたかっただけなのに川瀬さんを。
Naoshikun seemed like he was going to collapse. I immediately discarded my umbrella and held him up. His body shook with sobs. It was no longer from the cold of this rain.
女の子になりたかったよ。女の子になりたかったよ。
Poor Naoshi. If he had been a girl, Naoshikun probably would never have dreamed of Les Misérables. He wouldn't have admired Gavroche. He'd probably have a girl's dream.
私は今のままでも君は幸せになれると思う。男女でなくとも幸せになれると思う。
Naoshikun pushed me away.
じゃあタマさん皆さんのこと受け入れられる？
できる。
He slapped me.
適当なこと言うなよ。好きってなんだと思ってんの？抱きたいってことだよ。抱かれたいってことなんだよ。気持ち悪いだろ。ブ男のくせにさ。
君は可愛い。
Don't worry. Okay. But he is cute. But like, I don't know. He's too young. I can't. I don't know. Is he like high schooler or like middle schooler? I don't know. But he's so small. So, and I still think he's in school. So, Tama don't.
川瀬に恋する君は可愛かった。
Oh, okay. Okay.
あんたにそんなこと言われても全く嬉しくないよ。
分かってる。君が川瀬一人の肯定が欲しいってことは。だから誰に否定されても諦めない方がいい。
意味わかんないんですけど。
たった一人に振り向いてもらえればそれで満足なんだろ。気持ち悪いなんて責めるなよ。君の何が気持ち悪い？どうして間違ってると思うんだ？その意識はどこから来る？
Go with that one, Mori. Oh god, I love him.
何千何億って人たちに否定され続けてきたことだからだろ。
Of an unproductive and fruitless love. Of an error of humankind that would completely ruin both people. That's what I had thought too. That's what I thought even now. But I couldn't help but think that Madame's tears were beautiful.
タマさん、どこ行くの？
みなかみに会いに行く。最後にお願いなんだが、君が川瀬を救ってやってくれないか。今あいつに必要なのは親友だから。
はあ？どんな顔すれば許されると思う？許されるわけないだろ。僕が何もかもぶっ壊したのにさ。
許してもらえるよ。君が川瀬の罪を許せるなら。
本当に皆さんのところに行くの？
ああ。
死ぬってこと？
すべてをやり直すのだ。
できるわけないじゃん。やっぱあんたバカなんだね。初めて会った時からずっと思ってたよ。
Right at that moment, the screws on my glasses came loose. Now she couldn't finally give me his usual smile. I knew I couldn't fool him the entire time. He was right. I was a hopeless fool. But in front of Naoshiko's arrogant face, I jumped into a puddle. Just like, I can't? Look at me. When I suddenly looked around, I was on a streetcar. Passenger got off, leaving a seat open. As soon as I hurriedly sat down, the car filled up. Next thing I knew, Kawase was sitting in the seat closest to the front. He didn't seem to notice me. He was probably heading to that cafe by Kana Bridge again. He seemed to be reading a reference book with a serious look on his face. He calmly turned the page and scribbled on it with a fountain pen. Eventually, the streetcar stopped when an elderly woman got on. Kawase immediately stood up and turned away. It didn't matter if it was an old woman, a child, or an adult. He would give up his seat without a second thought. Even though it wasn't a competition, I felt like I had lost somehow, so I also stood up from my seat and approached him.
川瀬。
うわ、玉森くん。
うわってなんだうわって。これからカフェに行くんだろ？
そうだけど。
He said, closing his book, putting it in his pocket.
どうした？私を気にせず受験勉強を続けろ。
気が散るんだよ、君といると。で、君は何しに行くの？
もちろん私もジャズを聴きながら勉強をするためだ。
その脇に抱えてる封筒は何？原稿用紙だと思うけど。
Bullseye! Kawase suddenly smiled.
まあいいんじゃない。俺さ、玉森くんが原稿に向かってる姿、結構好きだよ。こんなくだらないことにも真剣になれる人がいるんだなって。
You just had to ruin it, huh?
褒めてるのか？
褒めてるよ。俺にしては珍しくね。俺と同じ気持ちになりたいなら、アリを観察してみなよ。
それって、私が頑張り屋ということか？アリはちょこまかと働き者だからな。
君ってやつは。まあ、いいか。
いいか。7. Woo! Let's do this. Rain and fell drops from the gray sky. I blinked several times from behind my glasses, then finally jumped up. This wasn't the time for sleep. There was a lot of things I wanted to ask Minakami when I saw him. He would be leaving Umebachi though around now, so if I headed to Toyokinoma, I'll definitely run into him. Heading to Toyokinoma and catching him there would probably be my best bet. As soon as I tried to run, my legs shook and I fell. What's going on? Even my head was spinning. My vision swirled when I stared ahead. I leaned against the fence out of reflex, realizing it was unusually difficult to breathe. Now what's happening? Suddenly a roaring rumble came rushing towards me. I should have been used to the earthquakes by now, but in my current state it made me want to run. It's all the jumping, you know, it must like give a toll on you. It was telling me to give up on it all. How much easier would it be just to give up now? I got off the streetcar at Jinbocho and headed for Toyokinoma as fast as I could. At least that's what I wanted to do, but I continued to run awkwardly through the rain as I fell and gasped for breath over and over again. When I arrived at Toyokinoma, it was empty, as expected. Everyone must have been inside already. As soon as I stepped into the lobby, I immediately lost consciousness. My blunder led to falling headfirst, the impact waking me up again. My hand looks like if there are 2 or 3 more of them swirling around. Was it my brain doing it or my eyes? I had no time to find the answer.
お兄さんはお客さん？客じゃないなら帰ってくれます？
金の亡者だな、君は。
Still on the ground, I sluggishly pulled out my coin purse. He rushed over just as seeing the shine on the clasp.
これを全部君にやる。だから、頼みがある。おかっぱ頭の糸目の男をここへ呼んできてほしい。
おうよ、任せて。
After counting my money with his grubby hands, he gave me a cheerful smile. It's actually pretty handsome.
なんて言ったら伝わります？
メガネの男が倒れていると。
He beat his chest and went inside. Finally felt some relief, but I didn't want Minakami to see me like this. I stood up using the wall and walked towards a chair. But once I got into it, I couldn't lift my hips from the wall, so I leaned against it and slid down. When had my body become so useless? He came back in a hurry.
糸目のお兄さん、俺の呼びかけに全く反応してくれないんすけど。
何？
活動を見るっていうより、なんか原稿を読んでるみたいだった。暗いのにちゃんと読めてるとは思えないな。
このメガネを持ってもう一度言ってくれ。玉森が来ていると。そういえば
悪いけど、さすがに2度目はいけないよ。あのお兄さんもお客さんだしさ。
じゃあ私が行く。
I gathered all my strength and somehow managed to stand up. Not wanting to be clumsy in front of someone younger than me was my last bit of pride. He studied my way and held out the palm of his hand for some reason.
30銭だよ。中に入るんなら券を買ってもらわないと。
だからさっきの金で。
さっきのは俺の行動代だろ。券の料金は別途っすよ。
He was a true ogre. Genuine cheapskate. He was smaller than me. If I were to force my way through, I could probably push him down with one hand.
お兄さん、相当貧弱だね。
それとこれとは関係ないだろ。私は今意識が朦朧としているのだ。
言い訳かよ、貧乏人。
Shit. This brat's going to make me cry.
お客さん連れ出せとかさ。お兄さんちょっと怪しいな。おまわり呼ぼうかな。
くそガキめ。
Even under normal circumstances, I was easy to tease, and yet he was harassing me now at my weakest? If I cried, even this brat would feel guilty. No. It was all up to me at that moment. Minakami ran out from the theater. He rushed up to me when he saw me crawling on the ground.
どうしてここがなんで
He seemed awfully shaken up. I grabbed Minakami's arm with my own and leaned against him, somehow managing to stand.
水上来い。 いいから来い。
I was going to gallantly take him by the hand and force him into a taxi with me. We would go as far as my money would allow. At least that was the plan. I thought I had grabbed his hand and started to walk, but I had fallen to my knees again. My head was pounding, but I hadn't learned my lesson yet, so I stood up and collapsed again. I had no choice but to accept there was something wrong with me. Minakami turned me towards him, then gently rested his hand against my forehead.
熱が出てる。気づかなかったのか？
どうってことない。
そうはいくか。早く病院に。
病院は絶対に嫌だ。
When I tried to shake him off, I lost my strength and ended up leaning against him. This was insane.
そこの君、タクシーを呼んでくれないか？
別料金だけど。
いくらでもやる。
Stop, Minakami. He'll rob you blind. I wanted to tell him that, but my eyelids were getting heavier. The ringing in my ears grew distant. My consciousness drifted away to somewhere deeper than the depths of sleep. Well, we stopped Minakami's death. Speck of light appeared in the empty darkness. The tail of light was drawn out from the speck as it crawled. It wrapped around another speck of light and became slightly larger. 2 specks and 3 specks accumulated more light. Gradually became a vast Milky Way. For some reason, it really made me want to drink coffee. It was a dream. When I suddenly opened my eyes, I was greeted by a familiar ceiling. I felt hot, and that's when I noticed I was tucked into a futon up to my chin. I recognized the worn-out feel of my old futon.
ここは奥さんの家だ。
私は。
ずっと寝ていた。
The soji was shut tight, so I couldn't hear the sound of wind and rain. All the clock on the wall could tell me was that it was night. I tried to get up, but my head was still spinning and foggy.
薬がある。ほら。
He handed me some powder and water. When I choked on the powder, I had accidentally inhaled. Minakami silently rubbed my back.
病院に連れて行こうとも迷ったんだが、どうだ？
平気だ。
I suddenly lost the strength in my fingertips and the cup fell to the floor. Unconcerned, Minakami immediately cleaned it up with a hand towel.
気づけなくて悪かったな。もう少し横になれ。結構いい薬だが、眠るに越したことは。
効かないのか。なんで私がお前に会いに来たか。
知りたいな。けど今は話せる状況じゃないだろう。
He uncrossed his legs and got to his knees.
どこに行くんだ？
読み物だ。
ここで読めばよかろう。
He played off with a wry smile. He narrowed his already squinty eyes and stood up. When he opened the soji, the sound of the rain beating against the glass door came in. It made me unbelievably anxious. Still lying down, I grabbed Minakami's leg. I clung to him like he was a lifeline in a violent current. That was how ridiculously desperate I looked.
玉森。
これ以上私に恥をかかせる気か。
Perhaps I had gotten through to him because Minakami gently closed the soji. Trying to make it up to me, he knelt next to me, then gave me a smile.
病人そっちのけで読書とは正気を疑うぞ。
あははは。ともあれ、いつも通りの玉森だ。
Whose fault do you think is that? Then I put up this front. After I drank the small amount of water left in the cup, I handed it back to Minakami.
今日会う知人とは一体誰だったんだ？
古い友人だよ。そう言っただろ。
名前は？
わからない。
冗談言うな。名前もわからないのに会う気になるか？普通。
Minakami pulled the white-haired boy from inside his bag. That was Kisaku Yumeno's first work.
この本に手紙が挟まっていたんだ。それと、今日の活動の件もな。
I used Minakami's carelessness to my advantage and snatched the book away from him.
うるさい。
I pushed Minakami away by the shoulder, then pulled the letter out of the book. The letters were stained with water and the rain. I'll tell you the end of the story. Was written on it with terrible handwriting.
意味がわからん。
俺もわからない。けど、俺はそれが気になって仕方なかったんだ。
Either way, whoever had written this letter knew all about Minakami's peculiar disposition. My anger flared at how easily he'd gone along with it. Minakami getting excited by something like this made him look ridiculous. Ripped the letter to shreds.
原稿は今どこにある？
原稿？原稿なんて、なんでお前が知って？
Minakami fell silent at my gaze. I was the one who wanted to be less speechless, though.
私は時間を何度も繰り返してきた。あさっての未来から来たのだ。信じられないだろう。私だって信じられない。お前が人生の最後に旧作を選ぶなんて。
どうして？
言ってるだろう。私は繰り返してるって。もう数えきれないくらい。
You weren't murdered.
お前が生きるのをやめたんだよ。
The whole time, I only thought about Minakami surviving. Each time I searched for a reason to stop myself, but each time I only found reasons to keep going.
私はお前がいないとダメなんだ。お前が死んでから何もかもめちゃくちゃなんだ。
I grabbed both his arms.
嘘でも何でもいい。私ももう何も聞かない。だからこの3日間だけ一緒にいてくれ。
玉森。
絶対に何も聞かないから。
Minakami gently brushed my hands away. Those eyes were as kind as ever. To me, though, that was more painful than him glaring at me. Right. Of course, that was his answer.
どうせ私は気狂いだよ。幻覚と会話する気狂いだ。今だってもう操りきれないのだ。
He became a goldfish. The cat was watching him from the gap off the sliding door, his tail swaying.
お前の顔が食べられるぞ。顔を隠さないと。
大丈夫だ。俺の顔だ。
No. He took my hand and placed it on his cheek. His face was cold, but when he smiled, it had just a little warmth. He's alive. The hallucination eventually faded, and the original scenery returned.
お前は熱を出すといつも俺を金魚と勘違いするな。
本当に金魚になるから。
どこが似てるんだ。
そのどこを見てるかわからぬ目だ。
Minakami's cheeks relaxed again. It really was better when Minakami was smiling. I reached my hand out even farther and tucked his hair behind his ear. I could see his face better this way. But Minakami gently removed my hand.
落ち着いたか？
これもまだ幻覚なんじゃないか。
そうかもしれないな。現実だって証明する方法を俺は知らない。でもこれが幻覚だって証明する方法もない。 好きな方に生きればいいよ。
私は現実がいい。だからお前も私と一緒に目を覚ませ。
Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? I want to wake up from this nightmare.
私をもう
Me alone anymore. Don't run away from me. I'm fine as long as you're here.
中
I pressed my head against his chest. I could hear the peaceful sound of his beating heart. I noticed he was calm. I'm sick of your fantasies. Thought your stories were shit. I had enough. You're the one who's crazy. Tears overflowed. Tears overflowed. Probably thought I was just some overly dramatic fool. Filled with disgust, I couldn't stop crying.
玉森。
言わないでくれ。もう何も。
人の命は短いよ。死ぬも生きるも同じくらい一瞬の出来事で、遠くから見れば光の点滅みたいなものだ。
I couldn't help looking at his face. He was giving me his usual smile.
生と死があるように、物語はすべて二つの側面がある。右手と左手とか、広く言えば善と悪とかな。それは人にも言えるんだ。人が有限の存在なら、その反対に無限の時間を生きる存在もいる。俺の家に伝わる水の妖怪の話だ。
This was the first time Minakami had ever told me a fantasy story like this.
橋姫は雨の降るうちにだけ現れる。橋姫に目をかけられた者はその力を譲られて時間を遡ることができるんだ。
That's why the title of the game is Hashihime of the Old Book Town. That right now was happening to me.
信じてくれるか？
信じられるよ。だってそうやってここにいるんだから。
I had seen things I didn't want to see. I knew things I didn't want to know. I had made an effort to understand them. I had killed someone. Had betrayed others. Had done all that, and now the reality I wanted was right before my eyes.
お前が嘘つきでもいいよ。私はバカだから、きっと騙し通せるさ。頼む。私の親友でいてくれ。行かないでくれ。
行かないでくれ。Oh, got my heart, Tamamori.
玉森、ありがとう。
Minakami smiled. He pushed me away. At some point, he had grabbed a pen. He aimed it at his own neck and stabbed without hesitation.
水上
Why? Why, Minakami?
水上
I tried to pull. I tried to pull his hand away, but he wouldn't let go. It was as though his hand were glued to the pen. The blood, his life force wouldn't stop. Once Minakami finally slumped over, the gushing blood formed a pool.
奥さん、誰か助けてくれ。
なんでWhy didn't you choose me? I felt this way. I cried so much. So why? You. I stole the notebook from Minakami's bag, then opened the soji and jumped to the garden. I need to go back in time right away. Jumped into a puddle, but aside from my shoes getting dirty, nothing around me changed. Splashing, I jumped over and over again. The ground caved in and became even muddier. I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back. Eventually, I cried myself to exhaustion and crouched down in the puddle. What was different this time? What was different from before?
タマさん
Madame saw Minakami's dead body and collapsed.
これは一体ごめんなさい私が水上を止められなかったせいです。あなた水上を助けたいんです。でも戻れなくてどうしたらいいかもうわからないんです。
She rushed up to me and forcefully grabbed my arms. Her eyes were terrifying. I shook my head like a child.
私は狂ってない。信じてください。いいから来い。
This really was the strength of a man. She dragged me from the garden and forced me into the hallway. She then grabbed me by the shoulder, lifted me up, and shook me hard.
よく聞きなさい。今のあなたに橋姫はついていない。
What?
橋姫は過去の主を優先するの。だからもう一人の自分を探して力を取り戻しなさい。
Oh. That's why his eyes changed.
意味がわからん。
Had I gone to another world again? A laugh came out. My cheek suddenly smacked at full strength.
何も教わっていないのね。奥さんはどうして？
Madame grabbed me by the collar and threw me into the garden like she would the cat.
何者なんですか？早く行きなさい。信じます。疑う気持ちなんてありません。私はただ理解したいだけなんです。行きなさい。教えてください。お願いします。
A month ago, on a day like this, Madame had kicked me out of her home. She had scurried into my room, then thrown manuscripts and books into the garden.
私もかつて橋姫に目をかけられていました。大泉家が祀っていたのは水道橋の橋姫。
Pseudo bridge? That pseudo bridge?
そして皆さん、いえ、水前寺君の家は16教の橋姫を祀っていました。何なんですか？橋姫と誰がいつそのような名を付けたのかは分かりません。ですがそれは各地に存在して同じ制約を有しているの。
Restraints.
橋姫の力は他人のために利用してはならないのです。橋姫の目があるうちに他者を救えば災いが起きる。橋姫ってやつは
With calm expression, Madame approached Minakami's side and touched his hair.
一度でも橋姫に目をかけられた者は橋姫の推移をその目で見ることができる。あなたたちが初めてこの家に来たとき、私にはあなたの目が青く見えた。それはあなたが橋姫に目をかけられている証拠。でもなぜあなたに橋姫が？
Even I didn't know.
何も知らないということは何も聞かされていないということ。皆さんにも話したくない事情があったのね。
I've also had someone I loved. I wanted Minasan to realize his feelings for you. Take Minasan's feelings into consideration.
何なのだ。何なのだこいつ。 まさか自分のために私が走ってると思ってるのか？
What an absolute fool. I showered Minakami's dead body with obnoxious laughter.
全部私のためだよ。誰のためじゃない。お前を救うつもりなんかこれっぽっちもない。私がお前に。
I ran off, stumbling across the swaying ground. Sometimes it felt like I was getting caught in the mud, but as long as I looked forward, I could make steady progress. I wouldn't rely on anyone anymore. I'll show them that I could save him on my own. When I arrived in Machido, I was lying flat on the floor facing a manuscript. My hand didn't rest. The only time I blinked was in the moment he turned a page. He corrected his mistake sloppily, layering black ink with more blank ink. When my shadow fell over the manuscript, I lifted my face annoyed.
なんだ貴様は。なぜ私と同じ顔をしている？私は未来から来たお前だ。80万年後でも1000年後でもない。ふざけたことを気でも違ってるんじゃないか。私が愚かであることは認めよう。口で言っても融通の利かないバカだと分かっている。だから私は3日後から来たことを証明してやる。
When I touched me, he vanished with a splash and a spray of water. A puddle spread at my feet, feeling slightly larger. I teetered towards the bookshelf and leaned my against it, relieved. Why was I in such a hurry? Why was I so relieved? The reality was that I couldn't fix anything. Wasn't this how things were supposed to be? Being this worked up meant I had really lost all sense of morals. It was an easy sacrifice. I ran out of Umebachido again. When my eyes suddenly opened, I was on the streetcar. I was the only passenger. Really, the only one. The streetcar stopped, but no one seems to be getting on. Apparently, it had hit a stray cat. I couldn't believe the streetcar had stopped for a single cat. The residents of Shinbucho sure were good people. I just realized the only one that have blue eyes is also the cat. Didn't the cat have blue eyes? Do you think it's possessed by the Hashihime? Bored, I crossed my arms and stretched my dry elbows. Though in this situation, I wondered who exactly the dead cat would curse. The first thing that came to mind was this town. The rail extended down the middle of the street, consequently creating a system that wouldn't allow wild animals to cross the opposite side. But the cat had most likely been born and raised here, so that first thought was dismissed. Second was the streetcar conductor. He was up from keeping watchful eye, and although he could avoid people, he hadn't been able to save a cat. But once again, even if the cat would understand human language, I figured just ringing the bell would be enough effort on the conductor's part. Then the third candidate for revenge was me. I was the streetcar driving through Jimbocho and Ishikucho Riverside in the first place, to carry me from station to station. The streetcar probably would have run over the cat, whether I was here or not. I assumed anyway. But I stopped the streetcar, gotten on. If I hadn't taken time to pay the fare, it would have overlapped with the moment the cat crossed the rail. Rest in peace. 8. No, I'm just blown away. It had just begun to rain. Fell in drops from the grey sky. My headache and dizziness had died down, but the pain in my joints remained. I lifted my body more carefully than I had until now, then clung into my hands, with my hands to the door of Umebachido.
お帰りなさい。
Ignoring the shopkeeper, I headed toward the bath. I washed Minakami's blood from under my nails and between my fingers. I glanced at my arms. There was blood all the way up to my elbow. These were the hands of a murderer. After finishing up, I filled the bucket with water. The changes from Hashihime can be seen through their eyes. Her eyes looked blue to me. The monochrome surface of the water shook violently, distorting my face. I got scared and smacked the bucket away. I no longer had a way to check.
店主、ただいま戻りました。
はい。
I heard the sound of me coming back. I readjusted my top, left the bathroom, and slowly followed after him.
相変わらず雑だな。
みなかみ、ちょうどよかったな。私も今帰ったところだ。
ちょうどよかった。
またお前の言う通り雨が降ったぞ。おかげでほとんど濡れずに済んだ。
そうか。
どうした？なんだか元気がないな。
いや、金魚を素手で掴むなよ。
So even see me doing that, huh?
金魚屋の親父だってそうしてただろ
でもかわいそうだ。
う。なんだ、私に文句があるのか？
文句というか、金魚飼育の助言というか。
金魚屋の親父がこれでいいと言ったからそうしたまでだ。
売り物の金魚もいっぱい死んでただろ
う。ああ、なんでだろうな。
どうした？今日はやけに気が立ってるな。まるで川瀬みたいに横暴だ。
真面目くさって。
I spat as I turned around. It was when the palm of my hand silently slammed into that stupid-ass ever face. Minakami unwrapped the cloth he had brought with him and pulled out some books. He took out a few books and returned them to the shelf, slowly enough to make me yawn. Once Minakami had finished returning all 20 books he'd borrowed, he bent back and looked along the shelves and let out a distant sigh full of sense of accomplishment.
一段落ついてしまったかな。どうした？
I guess I was watching him too closely. I took my hand away from my chin and buried it in my sleeve.
考え事をしていてな。この後空いてるか？
すまん、今日はテイトに古い友人が来ているんだ。これから
Oops.
穴埋めというわけじゃないけど。
Minakami said as he handed me the last book left in his hand. It was Kisako's Yume no Dogramagara.
暇なら読んでくれ。読み終わったら商品として並べてくれて構わない。新作だから高値をつけてもいいんじゃないか？
もう読んだ。
あ、そうか。じゃあ棚に入れてしまおう。
Even though he could pick up on my mood, he still slipped it into the shelf.
というのは置いといて、実はいいものを持ってきたんだ。
Minakami pulled out a ticket for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He waved it in front of me and smiled as if he were still seeking direction.
奥さんから招待券をいただいたんだ。ご婦人方は怪奇映画に興味がないそうだ。一緒に。
Before he could finish speaking, I stuffed the ticket into my pocket.
そうすると思ったよ。それじゃあ明日の夜東洋記念まで待ち合わせだ。
ああ。
Minakami folded his cloth and stuffed it into his bag, then pulled on his still damp mantle. Once he had stepped outside, he turned around as if he had something to say. He knit his brows but immediately hid behind that edge of his umbrella. Then like a falling leaf, he swiftly passed by and disappeared. Minakami was gone. All that remained was the sound of the rain. I crumpled the ticket in my pocket with a sigh. Put on the black cloak I had hidden next to me. After coughing from the dust that gently drifted off it, I went after him. I didn't take an umbrella. He headed straight for Toyokinuma and entered the lobby. Followed him from behind and calmly sat down in the chair next to him. He stopped an employee to buy some caramels and read the ingredients on the back of the box. I watched him from the side as 3 caramels melted in my mouth. Soon after, the caramel seller announced that the show was starting. Minakami stood up and was sucked into the theater. It was quiet. Last time Haruhiko-san had challenged me to game of Go. The frogman had watched us closely. Every once in a while he would look at me as if he were jealous. They were surely inside of me. It was so quiet that the only thing I could think about was Minakami. Partway through the film, the door opened and he rushed out without noticing me. I grabbed his hand and immediately snatched away the envelope from his side. At the same time, I removed the hood covering my face.
古い友人には会えたか？物語の最後は分かったか？
玉森。
Minakami was getting flustered.
どうしてここが。なんで。
He seemed pretty shaken up.
言い当ててやろう。これは お前が敬愛する夢の旧作の新作だ。
返してくれ。
返してほしくば私の問いに答えろ。
I feigned composure as my heart beat so fast I thought my chest would burst. I had no intention of letting my voice get that way. My actions, my expression, they all had to be perfect. But Minakami's shoulder relaxed as he could read my mind.
近寄るな。私と旧作どちらかを選べ。私が書く地下室の怪人の最後か、旧作の書く物語の最後か、どちらかを答えろよ。
封筒を返してくれ。
So that was his answer, huh?
玉森。
来るな。来たら私は破り捨てる。
それだけは許さない。たとえお前だろうとさせない。
That gaze was the same as the one he had pointed at Kawase when he ripped my manuscript apart. I could understand how this writer felt. Even without reading it, I could tell what kind of person the writer was just from the thickness and weight of the envelope in my hand. I could easily tell just how much planning, and more planning had gone into each page, from his hands, his eyes, and his heart. Tomorrow, Minakami would read this manuscript and die. Even though my story wasn't finished, Minakami would be satisfied and die. That frustrated me. The tears flowed again.
お前ほどの読書好きはそうそういないよ。いちいち手帳に感想なんか書いて。この手帳だってもう何冊目だろうな。
I pulled out Minakami's blood-covered notebook.
わかるだろ。橋姫を知ってるなら私がどうやってここまで来たか。なあ、どうして私の名を記さなかったんだ。
Don't ask, someone screamed.
私の物語は取るに足らなかったか。旧作の方が面白かったか。
玉森。
私は一体お前の何だったんだ。
I could break if I knew. It wouldn't be you next time. I had no choice but to drift through this stream. Even if I'm not prepared, even if nobody will believe me, give me the answer I want. That's all I had prayed
玉
for.
森は俺の生きがいだ。
Sotsuki.
ずっと変わらない。
Sotsuki.
私にいいところなんて何一つない。愚鈍で物分かりが悪い。何度も何度も繰り返さなければ学習できない。試験で0点を何十回も取った。漢文は読めない。運動だってできないし、風を風と気づけない本物のバカだ。
知ってるよ。
だがお前も私にお似合いのクズだった。帝大に受からなかったくせに私に勉強を教えていた。何の資格もないのに制服を着て帝大に通ってずっとみんなを騙してた。だから私のことも騙し続ける気なんだろ。お前にとっては簡単だろうな。だって私は
An idiot.
苦しかったよ。お前は天才の俺にしか興味がないようだったから。
それは違うよ。
帝大生だって嘘吹いたのは憧れられたいとかそんな気持ちじゃない。お前の気を引きたかった。そのためなら一生欺く覚悟もあった。
バカだ。
ずっとお前が好きだった。
Felt nothing for you. Nothing at all. When I said, look, a bird is flying by, you would talk about birds. When I said, look, there's a fish, you would talk about fish. You were just a walking encyclopedia to me back then. You still are, even now. I let go of the notebook, the manuscript, everything, and grabbed Minakami's arms.
みなかみ
Anyone would have been fine as long as they stayed by my side, as long as they made me happy. But that wasn't true. It had to be you. Maybe I need to tell him all that.
私だけを見てほしい。私を好きなら私だけに夢中になれ。もう誰の物語も見ないでくれ。
俺はお前の思ってるような人間じゃない。
Minagami gently pushed me away.
橋姫の目があるうちは他人のために行動してはいけない。
知ってる。もう聞いた。
他人のために行動すれば橋姫の嫉妬を受けて災いが起きてしまう。
災いってなんだ。姿も見えない幻想に怯えてるのか。
災いを防ぐには代償として支払わなければいけないんだ。
これは全部私のための行動だ。お前のためじゃない。
俺は他人を救ったことがある。その代償に俺はお前の母親を殺した。お前を救った代償にお前から家族を奪ったんだ。
I'm gonna leave that episode there. 'Cause, whoa, this episode is longer than I thought. And God, everything we know is a lie. Like what? Wow. Just wow. This is truly one of the best game, the best story I ever read. And what the actual F? The plot twist doesn't end. The plot twist doesn't end. This story is just. This episode is just full of plot twists. Like, what the actual F? Well, thank you for watching. I genuinely don't know what to say to you, because I don't know what to say to myself after reading that, after knowing all of this. I mean, I kind of guessed it, but at the same time, what? Then why did... So Minagami killed himself? To pay the compensation? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Well, anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys can sleep at night after knowing this. I cried a lot today. I don't know if you realize because my character or the camera doesn't show my tears, but bro, I don't know if you can hear that because I think it's lagging, but bye.